Well, I think it's pretty safe to call it a flop. The Marvels has a historic second weekend, and not in a good way. It might end up being the lowest grossing Marvel movie of all time. Let's break down what's going on, what happened with the box office, and what old Marvel project might get bumped out of last place. Now, before we do that though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know. Well, the numbers are in, and I have to say, they are worse than expected. The Marvels went into its second weekend in theaters and faced a massive decline, and pretty much solidifying its status as an absolute financial flop. Now, the numbers are still totally being gathered, but it appears right now the film had somewhere between a 78 and 80% decline over its second weekend. That bumps Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was only 69.9, and we're saying only, from the previous record holder for the biggest drop, which makes the Marvels the biggest second weekend drop in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. Now, this puts the film in a really, really bad position, and it's clear to me it's going to lose money. Right now, the trades are estimating it'll finish its worldwide run between $210 and $240 million. And for a lot of other movies, that would be great, but this movie has somewhere around a $250 million budget. And since you only take in a portion of the box office, and then you stack on the marketing and promotion costs, well, Marvel is going to lose a pretty penny here. Also, if it only comes in at $240, it'll make it the lowest earner in Marvel Studios history. Right now, that record's held by The Incredible Hulk, which came out in the first year of Marvel Studios and totaled $265 million, which even for that time was not great returns. Now, this is all pretty crazy considering the first movie did $1 billion, but let's be fair, the atmosphere for Marvel films are completely different, and followed by a couple of rather difficult projects. Secret Invasion was horrid, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania completely flopped, and Thor: Love and Thunder, well, we can talk about that at a different time, but it didn't bring positive energy to the MCU. I think that Marvel has now finally taken that solo position and paid the brunt for the studio dropping the ball. Now, what does this mean for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, it's not time to write them off yet, but it does seem like the general idea that Marvel movies are bulletproof, they'll always at least break even, well, that is now something of the past, and I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, Marvel Studios is altering some plans. Now, on the upside, next year we're going to get a lot less from Marvel Studios as they readjust everything, and I think this loss, along with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, is really the catalyst for those functions. It seems to me Deadpool 3 could be Marvel's next huge movie, and possibly another Spider-Man No Way Home if handled correctly. So the idea that that's the only movie coming out next year and everybody's efforts are going to be focused on that, well, that is some good news to peel out of this process. Now, as for why the Marvels failed, we're going to do a big comprehensive breakdown on this. It's a combination of many things: superhero fatigue complicated by bad projects, a really bad promotional campaign that didn't focus on family, which would have brought a lot more people into the theater, and a relationship with fans with some characters that's somewhat problematic and definitely keeps butts out of seats, which at the end of the day isn't good. Now, when we'll see these characters again, we're going to have to wait and see. It's pretty clear Kamala Khan is going on to the Young Avengers, and Carol Danvers, along with Monica Rambeau, are definitely going to stay in the MCU. I expect both of them to join the new Avengers that are being organized for Secret Wars, and all these characters will move on, but I don't think Captain Marvel is going to be getting any more solo movies. But we're going to have to wait and see.